Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome back, and actually back to a normal week, well, it should be a normal week, of scheduling of live streams and videos. We've had some time off from OpenTTD with various things. We had our Railroute specials week before last, and last week we did our Project Zomboid Viewer Plus server launch. Now, we may see more Viewer Plus servers in the future, or you may see more Project Zomboid stuff in the future and all that sort of thing. But, yeah, this is back to a normal schedule now for a little while. So hello to Above the Line, Brandon, Tidman, and everybody else that's joining in now. I've decided to go for the wider angle today with no background. You can see the top of my t-shirt here. Of course, it is the This Will Probably Work t-shirt from the Hellish store. I think I like it because my office is tidy at the moment, which it normally isn't. But I think I like the wider shots with the guitars and the oh god, which hand's which? There we go. The Transport Tycoon box and some of my other bits and bobs in the background, all that sort of thing. So there we go. It's and you've got the 3D printer just over here on the corner of the screen and bits and bobs. I kind of like the background. But hello everybody. I only felt like 1 week. It has been 3 whole weeks since the last time we did this series. And hello to Max watching there on YouTube. Welcome to the stream. Well, I suppose we better jump into OpenTTD and familiarise ourselves with what's going on. Brandon's been playing Evil all day. My goodness. My health trackery thing that I've got. The battery's going. So I better plug that in. It's quite weird, actually. If you've not got one of these sorts of things, they often come with these little adapters that kind of click on, and then you can plug a USB into the side of the adapter. There we go. Let's charge that up so it can monitor my sleep patterns tonight and see how terrible my sleep is tonight. There we go. So yes, we won't get bogged down with Eve because I could probably talk about Eve all day. We will switch over to OpenTTD. So here we go. Now, as the stream title suggests, this is Vehicle Parts Part 2. So last time we put all this land in around here. We put this brand new set of platforms in. We got this massive railway line. Excuse me, folks. A sneeze came out of nowhere. Hi, I just started your OpenTTD and your videos help me a lot. I don't really understand why you don't have more subs. I hear both of those quite often. People find my OpenTTD videos very helpful, which is the reason why I put them out there. And also people don't understand why I have more subs. I do niche games, so I don't do any big mainstream games, really. And the problem with big mainstream games is if I do tap into them, there's so much competition out there people doing the same thing. So it's a bit of a middle ground thing that, yeah. And I'm not a pro, you know. I do this as a hobby. I do it in between family life and having a full-time job as well. So I'm not out there every day with all the studio production-y stuff that some of the other people have. But I enjoy it and you enjoy it, so we do it anyway. And yes, we've got this. What is this? This is a vehicle. This is a component factory. The component factory. There we go. There is some KSP2 news. I haven't had a look. There'll be travel to further systems. There'll be travel to further systems. Yeah, I think faster than light travel was on the board for KSP2. It's just, it wasn't confirmed. It sounds like they might have confirmed it in recent news. We haven't produced any parts yet because the game's still paused because we built these triple lines down into here. What was it we was doing last time? It was depots were needed, I think, weren't they? Were depots needed? We've got depots at either end of our new railway lines. But we haven't got depots along the lines. That's right. And no trains yet. So if I click on this station and click on trains, no trains. And if I click on this station and click on trains, no trains. Yeah, I think that's where we are. So there is something else we need to do, because at the minute we're bringing 3 things in and taking 1 thing out. And there's actually 4 things that need bringing in to the component factory. One of those things gets produced down here somewhere. Where does it get? Over here, I think. Let's have a look. What does this wharf produce? Zinc? No. Electrical parts? Yes. It's the electrical parts we need to transport. So somehow we've got to get electrical parts from this wharf up and over here. So I guess let's just build the stations and see what we can do. Let's go into building mode. Building mode, by the way, if I say building mode, it's just a particular transparency. So you press X to toggle the transparency. That is hideous if you hold the key down. If you can do Control X, it brings the transparency options up, and you can choose what things you want to turn on and off, and you can actually lock some of them. So you can see it. I've got it so that industries are always locked, and when trees are transparent, they're not just translucent, they're fully transparent. That's what this extra one here at the bottom does. So there we go, transparency options for the win. So now we're going to have to pop a station in here. Now we're going to use an industry station renewal station. That's the mod that we're using. That music sounds a bit loud to me. Let's just knock it down a little bit. There we go. So, this is a drop-off station for some things. So let's have a look. What would be a good drop-off station? With one of the good stations? Yeah, let's go with this good station. There we go. Good evening, all. You're here after completing your job at work. Stream time. Oh yes. So I've been working today, but because here it's what we call half term. Is it half term or full term? I have no idea actually. It's some sort of school holidays at the moment. I've actually got a couple of 3 days off work this week, where me and my daughter will be doing something. Exactly what we'll be doing, I don't know. I think we've got a few different bits and bobs planned. We might go swimming. We might see some friends. I don't know. Now, I've done that, but I've just realised we're not going to have depots going in. And we need depots going in. Got to have some depots going in. Let's do it like that. That should do the job. Force depots on the way in. And then optional depots on the way out. Get rid of the forbidden bit of track. Get rid of the extra depot. There we go. There we are. Jobs are good. Above the line says, I think the more realistic faster than light methods are warp drives and wormholes. I wouldn't call a wormhole FTL. Well, is it faster than light? I mean, you certainly... Oh, I don't know. It depends whether you're producing the wormhole or just using a wormhole. There's so many different things involved with that. So many. Right, now for this one, I think we're going to have to actually add land to be able to fit it in. So let's do that. So we're going to have a heavy freight station. And we're going to put it there. Okay, so it's not long enough. That's 7 long. Let's put a little bit more. Luca says, I'm back into OpenTTD after many years. So glad I found your channel. Thank you. Welcome back. Just trying to work out exactly where I can put this station. There. Oh, that's only 3 wide. There we go. There we go, it's 4 wide now. I can't remember what we're picking up. I think we're picking up some sorts of engine some things. It's been too long. I haven't really... Well, I was going to say I haven't played OpenTTD since the last time we live streamed this, but then I realised that that's not true. I've been recording bits ready for the return of OpenTTD on my YouTube channel. The actual Series 6 Let's Play that's been going on. So that'll be coming back this weekend on Saturday. There we go. That's starting to look like a station we'd want. And I can't remember if it's this coming episode or the one after, but pretty soon we're upgrading the entire network to MacLeod. That's a big episode to record. Raphael, welcome. Watching on YouTube, welcome, welcome. Right, I think I'm quite happy with this. I mean, it accepts everything it needs to accept, and presumably that means we can pick up our electrical parts. Now it's a matter of connecting those two things up. So if we leave that here like that, give that 10 length and put a little kink in the track, because there's nothing wrong with a little kink. Not monorail, MacLeod. Monorail came out ages ago, and monorail is not great. Okay, we're gonna have to... there's some land height changes here that makes it a bit weird. Oh my god, I got a yawn coming there. Saturday night at the weekend, I didn't go to bed until 2 o'clock, and it's it's still hanging on me a little bit. I had a good sleep last night, but the late night's still hanging on me a little bit. Right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut some tracks in this. So I tell you what, we'll just put in the tracks first, and then we'll fix it afterwards. So we'll need to remove all of that and to either side. So anywhere where it crosses over, and then 2. There we go. Make the land go down. Pop the tunnels in. And hey presto, we've fixed it. Same thing here. So anywhere where there's a crossover of track, and then at least 2 either side, and we can pop our tunnels in. There we go. These tunnels won't... Oh, they're not the right type. There we go. Okay, so that's that sorted out. We've got to do this one now, which we need to unpause and pause the game for to get the train out of the way. There we go. Right, auto tool remove. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. There we go. Ooh. I might be a bit close there, but I think it's going to be okay. Yeah, it's alright. Looks a little bit weird that it comes out of a tunnel and then goes straight round a corner, but that's fine. It's not a busy line, it'll be alright. So then we've got this industry here that's in the way. That's not a problem, because we're going to have to do a little bit of... Oh, hang on, it's... Oh. Oh, look at that. Made to measure. Made to measure. We just got this top end to sort out. Got to get around this town. So I guess we could just do a bit of a diagonal here anyway. and go up the hill. So we're doing both things at the same time. We're going up the hill and we're getting round the town. Like a boss. That's right. Not a boss, but like a boss. Okay, and then because there's not much going on around here, I feel like we can just excavate through there. There we go, because it's not a massive excavation. And then, if we... we're going to have to get rid of a bit of the river there, but that's not too bad. Oh, there's a bit of river here as well. And then I think that's it. I think I've done it. Yeah, because this is one land height higher than this side, so... That's all good. Right, we need to get the signals in. So we'll put one in there and one in before the station. One after the station. One after the depots. Go all the way to the other end and just check. See, look, we've got no signals here. It's because there's a missed piece of track. So one of the ways to check whether your track's good is just to see if the signals are okay all the way around. Signals on the end of the platforms. One before the depot, and then just before on the end of the platforms here. There we go. So now we've got that line in as well. I guess we ought to put the trains on the line. Rip River, yes. I mean, there's no reason to keep rivers at all in this game. I can't think of a reason anyway. Right, SH30, let's purchase that. What are we shifting? We're shifting electrical parts. So if we use the cargo filter, which isn't a mod, this is in the base game as of, was it version 12 or version 11? Recently, relatively recently, it's been added to the game. So we can actually just go to electrical parts, and we can click the vehicle and it will purchase and refit it all in one go, which is fantastic. Full load here, all the way down the line, and then unload there. Done. We will get some more trains. We'll close. How much money have we got in the back? 260 million. We'll start with 5 trains there. Now, that's a relatively short distance, but I still feel like we need some depots on that line. We've got a diagonal here-ish. We could try and use this to our advantage. I mean, I'm not sure exactly... how this is going to flow. It's a bit short, but I don't really anticipate these trains wanting to use these depots very much anyway. So I'm going to let them off. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that. We'll pop it in here, it'll be alright. So I'm removing both the pieces of track and just leaving the diamond so that it's a forced depot, and also the trains can't get stuck going backwards and forwards. I think that will do for this line. It's not too long. Might be nice to have one somewhere in around here. But should we do it? Should we do a diagonal depot for a change? It's not very often we do. I'm going to attempt it. So, I can't remember how we do it. But, essentially, you need a depot like this. So you have to come out really far. And like that. Then you have to remove those 2 bits of track. And there's your depot. Your double depot. It's not the best. I'll tell you what I did forget to do though. I forgot to put signals on here. So signals before the merge, signal before the depot, and signal before the merge. There we go. Same here, signal before the merge, signal before the depot. Just remove that one. Should be able to do something similar here. If I've got the right distance. So it's roughly to there. Okay. This is why I don't like diagonal depots. Look at this. This is not efficient. It's not pretty. I mean, it'll work. It'll definitely do the job. There we go. Signal before the depots. Signal before the merge. That's probably the best sort of diagonal depot I can think of doing without making it like super complicated. It already looks a bit complicated. Okay. So now let's do some more trains. So we're going to be picking up vehicle parts. And at the moment we've got no trains doing that. Let's make the trains and then we'll look at the depots. So all engines, so we can get our... There we go. And this is vehicle parts, not engine parts or anything like that. We'll refit that. There we go. I just realised I've made the other trains too short. Did anybody else notice that? That I made the other trains too short. So we're going to full load here, go down this line, and unload there. And I'm going to clone the trains so that there's a bunch of them. But then the trains in... where are we looking? Go along this line to there, down to the wharf. Yeah, the trains in that depot are too short. So we're going to stop them all. Clone the trains a couple of times. No, wait. Fix one of them. Delete the rest of them. And then reclone it. That's definitely the way forward. There we go. Clone, 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 clone. That'll do. New viewer plus subscriber. Fantastic. We've got a brand new viewer plus subscriber. Is it brand new? I don't know. Let's have a look. We've got a sound effect for it. It was a resub. Resub DJ Empirical. Thank you very much for being the viewer plus subscriber. The latest subscriber. We've got 48 of you supporting the channel right now. Keeping things going around here. And also thank you very much to the random viewer plus subscriber, Pokedex. Yeah, between you all, you keep everything going on around here. It's very much appreciated. This looks so innovative. Yeah. I mean, it builds up. Like, you can do basic things in this game quite easily once you've learnt the basics. And if you want to know all the basics, I've got a 25-minute video where you can learn the entire basics of this game, inside and out. It's a fantastic little video. Not because I say so, but because people have told me so. Right then. Let's put some depots on this line. Have I not been using electrified rail? I have been using electrified rail. Good. So I'm going to put our first set of depots here-ish. We're going to come off the main line, because when a train goes into a depot, it starts to slow down. And what we don't want to do is a train to start entering the depot, slowing down, and then slowing down and causing a backlog with the other trains that are behind it. So that's why we get it to come off the main line. Then we're going to use a double depot. And the reason why we use a double depot is that we can have a train going into one depot at the same time as another train coming out of the other depot. If you are looking for a simple-ish but yet relatively effective design for doing depots, this is your bet, in my opinion. I just realised this hasn't even got signals on this line. Let's put signals on this railway line. Yeah. The more signals you have, the better the flow on your network. But if you're playing the game with maintenance turned on, be careful about that, because your signals will cost you an absolute fortune. He's not lying. It's a good intro. It is. And that intro I actually made, I would say, nearly completely after I'd made all the other tutorial videos. So there is a little bit of overlap. Like, I made all the tutorials and then I was like, I bet I could summarize all the basics pretty quickly here. So I did that video and stuck it on the front of the tutorial series. Right, so we've got one set of depots in there. I think we were going to put another set of depots in here. So let's do that. So you can see that I've kind of thought about the design of where the depot might want to be. If you've got one of these kinks in the lines, it's handy just to use that kink to the advantage. Just continue the kink and then just join up with the line. There we go. Ideally, what you want to have is enough room before your depot for an entire train length and enough room after your depot for an entire train length. So here our trains are length 10, so you can see that these runs in and out before the depot are actually a little bit long, but it doesn't really matter too much. This just fits in nicely, which is nice. It's good. There we go. Right then, and then we need a signal before the merge, signal before the depot, signal before the depot, signal before the merge. So there we go. That's not too far into the station there. Have we got depots down here? We have got depots. We've got forced depots before the station and optional depots after the station. So that's a relatively long length, but having depots there is fine. We've got depots up there, so I think we will leave it. Yeah, we'll leave it. We won't put any more depots on that. I don't know if the redeems are working, actually. Let's have a look. Well, the alert box is turned on. I don't like the redeem system I've got. I want to do a new one. It's just a matter of getting time to do it. So, we're going to have to do a different way of doing depots
I'm at
here.
least 98.3% sure I'm not an OpenTTD dev.
There we go. It is working. I think it just took a moment to kick in. But yeah, I think we're going to have to do the depots a little bit different here because we want to make it more compact. So there is a more compact version where you can come off just one square and then you can do your length 10. That's where your depot needs to be. So what you can actually do is remove 5 bits of track. Make a mark for your depot. Come back in. Pop your depot on there. Pop your other depot on so you get your double depot. And then we need to make sure the land's all nice and flat. And we just do a little tunnel. That way, your main line doesn't get that interrupted. But it's, you know, it's just got a small tunnel. And you haven't got to peel. I mean, I could have gone off further here. I've got the space, but I haven't got the space down the middle here. So we're going to do it like that. And we're going to do it like that now, so you'll see it in action. Here we go. Woo. Yeah, you can use the arrow keys to scroll around in this game. It's not the best. Not because it's not very good in the game, but just because arrow keys for scrolling is just not a great thing. So there we go. We're going to push that out a little bit there. A little bit there. Pop our tunnel in. Connect it up. And then we'll need a tunnel here as well to allow for the other depot. I don't know if we can do that actually. We can, but we have to have bridges. So you do it like this. Tunnel. This is why you shouldn't put your main lines too close together, because it causes you problems like this. And then you can do that. So there you go. That's one lot done. What a mess, eh? This is why you don't put your lines close together. This is why you have a 7 gap. You don't need a 7 gap. I would say you could get away with a 2. 3 would be ideal. But if you want to be able to do the depots all in a row, then you'd probably need a 6 gap. But what we're going to do now is we're going to do the depots on the other side. So, like this. So, that one will go under. These two will go under. This one will be a bridge. This one won't be, but that's okay because there's no trains there. I mean, there's no other track there. There we go. We can put our depots in there. Let's put that in here. So you can do like almost all the depots in one place. Don't want that one. Connect up these tunnels. Now, having a tunnel of this length for 10 length trains is really, really not a problem. I can't foresee it slowing down the traffic significantly in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not right about everything. So then we have a signal before we go into the depot. And before we go into the depot, one before here, one before there, and then before joining, and on that side, and before joining on this side. And now we've done the 2 on the outside, we need to do the 1 in the middle. So we can do the 1 in the middle here. So that's where our depot needs to be. So we need depot, depot, depot. There we go. Do. 7 for maximum efficiency. I'm sure there's other ways that can be done, Brandon. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying there must be. There must be another way. Must be what maybe we should try and work out what the best way is to do that. Right. These I would like a way of doing this without having to use the bridges. To me, the bridges are the bad bit of this design. Because I don't mind tunnels. Tunnels are manageable. Tunnels don't have speed limits like bridges, but there is something you have to consider with tunnels, and that is trains accelerate slower through tunnels. So if you have tunnels near stations, especially as they're leaving stations, then that can be bad. I think I just did that wrong, didn't I? Okay, these bits are wrong. Let's get them neatened up. Then we can get this bit right. There we go. That bit doesn't go out, it goes in. There we go. So, signal going in, remove that, and then one before the merge, and one before the merge. So, it might not be ideal, but that's the way I would do optional double depots with full-length slip lanes for 3 sets of double tracks. Takes 2 weeks off, forgets the Humpty depots. This is the Humpty depots, right? There must be another way. I have forgotten every way. I have forgotten all of that. Anyway, we've got depots at the station. We've got depots over here. Then the line... Oh, I think we're going to have to do more depots here, aren't we? I don't want to. I think we should, though. Should we try doing it a different way? If I remember correctly, those Humpty depots are for ones that are forced. We could do them here. We could do a forced depot in the middle. So, like if you're doing a forced depot on the line, you would do that, and then that. And then this, and you do the humps differently. Is that right? Can't see. Hang on. There we go. Doop-a-dip-doo. Instead of tunneling under, you went through hills. No bridges required. I'm not sure about that. I don't remember. But just because I don't remember, it doesn't mean it's not true. Okay. So by doing this, you actually... yeah. You get half the depots in. And then... you do the same here, I think, to get the other half of the depots in. It's been a while since I've done this. Let's try it. Because I normally always do depots off the main line. But if you're going to do forced depots and you want to force them to actually go to the depot, then yeah, we need to get rid of that. Then it's fine. Tunnel? Tunnel? No! Nearly made a mistake of a tunnel there. Plop, plop, plop. Tunnel. 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 I mean, this is a good way of doing it if you want to force every train on that line to visit a depot. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. That's relatively neat, isn't it? The depots go one higher up. Okay. You can make a line go straight through without a depot, but it still has a flat tunnel. Okay. Well, if somebody wants to send an image on the Discord, I can check it out. But I like that. That's another way of doing it. There's so many different ways to do these things. There is. And then we've got depots over here and here for those ones. Maybe these lines will need a depot on somewhere. I'm not sure, but let's get some trains going. So first thing second, let's do whatever this is. So this is an electric arc furnace, and it's producing something and taking it down to the component factory. And there we go. You recently did triple force depots just before a junction. Each direction could go to the center or one side. Wow. Triple force junctions. That's crazy. I've got them on this map somewhere. That's a good point, actually. If I remember correctly, they're here. Well, that's the same as what I've just done. These ones aren't force depots, though. These are optional. I say it's the same as what I've just done. The depots are up instead of dipping the lines down. But I don't think that makes a difference. The difference here is that the tracks are separated by one line, so that works as well. I'm pretty sure that's what you were talking about. They are the depots you were looking for. And this is... no, that's not it. Here we go. And this is an extremely similar way of doing it. Right, yes, trains. We were looking at trains. The electric arc furnace down to the component factory. We are taking the stainless steel and transferring it. That's the two things that match there. So the trains will accelerate faster out the depots when they're on higher. That is probably a very good point. That sounds like conservation of momentum through using of kinetic energy and stuff like that. What we're making, steel something, steel sections, stainless steel, not steel sections. Stainless steel. There we go. They'll go into the depots slower. I don't know if they'll go in slower because they have the momentum. I don't know. I have a good question, Harish. Does your company have to be nationalised? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Like, you get partway through the game and all of a sudden you lose control of your company and you keep getting told from the various different local authorities what you have to do. So let's full load over here, take it all the way down the lines and drop it off. Oh, hang on, which line is it? Oh, I know which line it is. It's this one. And we'll clone that. So there's a few of them. There we go. Hang on a second. You took a break. During it, you had an idea for them, but didn't share. And when I got back, I built them and you freaked out. Well, great minds think alike, eh? That's one way of looking at it. Now let's get the train sorted out for bringing in what we need over here. So these are the things we need. Scrap metal, ferrochrome, ferrochrome, quicklime and oxygen. And if we go to where that line is, it's one of the things coming out of this book terminal. It's the ferrochrome. So let's do that. New vehicles. We'll get the SH30 train. And we will get our coal trucks and refit them. Purchase and refit all at the same time. Love that feature. There is one feature that I wish the game really, really had. And that is in the replace vehicles. There is an option for removing wagons when you move from trains that have one engine to trains that have two engines, like two wagons, so to speak. But there's no option for the opposite when moving from a train that has two, like this diesel, down to one. And that needs to be in the game. Needs to be in the game. It's the only thing that I think that really, really should be in the game. Why isn't it there? That's ridiculous. I'll have to have a word with the devs. They'll probably ignore me because... Not because they're not nice people or anything like that. It's just like my opinion compared to everything in the wider world is relatively unimportant. Okay, there we go. We've got 4 trains going there to Senfing Hills City South. And we've nearly got all the trains in, actually, because we've only got 2 more things to do. So there's something else that needs to come from the bulk terminal. And it's going to come all the way down to our component factory. And if we look down the list of things that get produced at the bulk terminal, and we look at the list of things that are required at our component factory, we can see that it's plastics. Plastics are being produced and not transported, and plastics is one of the things we need. So new vehicle, we'll get our engine in. We will choose plastics. We've got an option of the coal truck or the goods van. I mean, I'm going to choose the coal truck. It is slightly heavier, but carries a lot more. Actually, do we go for the slightly lighter one? No, we're going for the slightly heavier one. I'm sure it'll be fine. Don't care. Let's just shift loads of things with one train. We're going to full load here, go all the way down the line, and plonk it in there. There we go. Let's clone that. Set them on the way. Brandon says, I'm pretty sure you're the biggest TTD streamer. They might listen. I don't know if I am the biggest TTD streamer. Maybe streamer, yes. There's certainly people that have done like videos and stuff that have been successful with OpenTTD. I'm definitely not the only successful OpenTTD person that's creating content. No, they might do. I'm surprised that it's probably been brought up before already. I should probably look through the documentation to find out if it's been brought up already. Okay, over here at Forward Woods, we've got our basic oxygen furnace, and we are picking something up and bringing it over. What are we doing? We are bringing alloy steel. That's an inconsistency. Look, I've not noticed this before, but in the production, the names are in lowercase, and in the requires, the names have an uppercase at the beginning of the name. Now, down here in production last month, you might argue that they're in lowercase because they're not at the beginning of that sentence. But then, why is the I in pig iron uppercase and why is the S in steel uppercase if that is the thing? Is that an inconsistency for me? To me? Oh, it seems like it. I mean, I'm not the best at linguistics, and I by no mean will have a go at anybody for any sort of mistake like that. But I think that should be consistent. Anyway, we're picking up alloy steel. Right then. We'll see what chat say about it. I don't know. Alloy steel, there we go. One of the first ones on the list. Actually, we ought to change the length of this window. So if we adjust the length of the window like that, what we can do is that we can control click, and it will on this little square up here, and it will store the size of that window. So when we open the window again, it's automatically the right size. How cool of a feature is that? You can save default window sizes by doing that. There you go. I think a decent addition for OpenTTD is scenario. For example, rebuild a country due to a devastated war. Modernize a country. Oh, right, okay. You can do them with mods. So there's scenario files out there where you can do that, and you can do that with scripts and mods. So the functionality is in the game to make those sorts of scenarios. And you can use scripts to do it. When I'm saying I think there's stuff missing from the game, I'm talking about like core functionality. Something that either can't be or just really shouldn't be a mod. You don't care about the consistency of upper and lowercase. I mean, I don't care about whether it should or shouldn't be uppercase, but I kind of care about consistency. Right. Let's give this train the orders it needs. There we go. Cloney. Right, there we go. So that, I think, is now all the trains that are needed on that network. If, for some reason, I've just forgotten to tell them to start, what we're going to do is come into the train list and just hit go. There we go. If I've created any trains and I forgot to tell them to go, they'll now have the go order. So that's all of that part of the network done. That's all of this part. I think that's all of it done. We just got to put those extra depots in. So I think we should put them in here because it's the closest point to where these split, which gives us enough room, and it's the furthest point from those ones. So yeah, let's do that. There is water in the way though. Let's fix that. Okay, so we're given a 10 length for the runoff. That's only 7. We need to go a bit longer. 8, I've lost count now. 10, there we go. And then these are going to be a bit weird, this. Because we're going to have to take out these bits. Should we do the uppy depot? No, because those upper depots were forced depots. We should do them anyway. Let's do up depots. So we're just practicing with different depot types here, I think. So, in theory, there's an up depot. The only problem with an up depot is I think it has to be up all the way across, otherwise you cause yourselves problems. So let's do that. And then we can have tunnel. I don't know if they both need to be tunnels. I've done it anyway. I suppose it's nice for consistency, isn't it? And then because we're doing uppity depots, let's do this. Let's bring that in there. No, I wanted to cut the water in. There we go. So this is a little bit closer. We've got a signal on the way in there. Signal on the way out there. Signal on the way in. Signal on the merge. Let's get rid of that extra bit. And because I haven't left enough gap between the lines, I'm going to have to do the next one here. If I'd have left 2 gaps between the railway lines rather than 1, we still wouldn't have been able to do it. I think it would have needed to be 3 to do it correctly. Never mind. Right, that's 10, so let's get rid of that. And we'll get rid of all this track here as well. And all that track. Right, let's try again. Up, 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 up. Up and over. 8, 9, 10. I like experimenting with different ways of doing things. It's one of the reasons why sometimes in OpenTTD I don't always do things the most efficient way. People just sometimes expect that, like, if you know what you're doing with the game, you're just gonna pro it by doing it the most efficient way. I don't always enjoy doing things like that in that way. I mean, if you leave your tracks with only one segment apart, it does fit. You can do it like this. It just means that you can't do them right next to each other. And if they were forced depots, like the ones over here, you don't need the run in and run out, so it works really well. Mark Park, watching on YouTube, welcome to the stream. Just popping some depots in. Because we've got all of our trains in place. There we go. We'll tunnel under there. Tunnel under there. There we go. That all looks good to me. We just need to take out these bits of track here. There we go. Let's just remove any unnecessary track. Not track, land. Any unnecessary land. Slink it right down. There we go. So we did one side over here, and then we did the other side over there. That works alright for me. Looks quite nice, actually. I like that. Might start doing things a little bit more like that. Bringing things together, slimming it down. I think that's it. I think that's all the depots we're going to do, because I'm not going to put any depots in. I wish we put some force depots in there. I kind of feel like we don't need force depots in here. No, we're going to leave it without the depots there. It's fine. It's going to be all right. So then I think that's pretty much everything ready and going for vehicle parts. So I'm going to unpause the game. You see we've got trains coming out here ready to pick up the vehicle parts. And then if we come down to the wharf, we've got trains going into the wharf. They're going to be picking up the electrical parts. You can see we've got electrical parts waiting there. Over here at the electric arc furnace, hopefully we're going to be producing, I think it's stainless steel. We've already got trains in. Loading up there, and what are we bringing into the electric arc furnace here? We are bringing in the ferrochrome. All these trains lining up. That's what we like to see. Oh, I forgot about that special episode of OpenTTD I was going to do for in Series 6. Right. Can somebody, or especially... Oh, would a moderator be able to put something in the mod chat to try and remind me on Discord that I need to do the half episode? Okay, so if you're and for the viewers, if you're not like subscribed or got the notifications turned on for my YouTube channel, make sure you have, because that half episode is going to be something a little bit different, and I think a lot of people will like it. Not sure, but I think. Okay, so that's all good. Yep, that's all running nice. So what on earth? We've got loads of trains going up and down here already. Oh, that's a different railway line. I was like, where have all these trains come from all of a sudden? And they're the trains going to ALM's blasting. You can just make 2 wide humps and stagger the 2 close lines. If you're close enough. Yeah, that's potentially another way of doing it. I do like this way. This way for non-forced depots. I mean, I know they're forced depots, but they're off the main line. And I kind of like this way for the forced depots. Although I agree with you, it's probably better if they're on the hill rather than the other way around. Depots, eh? Okay, so we need a name. We need a name for the component factory and the area, and we're taking names from Viewer Plus members. So, Viewer Plus subscribers, they get several benefits, and one of those benefits is the name in the game. So when we were playing RimWorld, the characters in the RimWorld game was chosen from the list of Viewer Plus subscribers, and now we're going to choose somebody to be in here. So the next person on the that says thank you on the next screen is going to get their name in, and that person is Volan. Congratulations, Volan. We're going to place a sign in game. There we go. And this is Volan's components. Ooh, I accidentally brought up the extra keyboard. Volan's components. That's what we've got down here. This part of the network is called Volan's components. And thank you very much for the reminder to do the half episode, Brandon. I do need to mark that as unread. There we go. Okay, so the next bit, or should I say pretty much the final part of the network, it evolves around this electric arc furnace. So all the other places supplying the Volan's components have multiple inputs. So for example, down here at the wharf, we are bringing in various different things. We're supplying pipe and sodium hydroxide. We're supplying two different things. We've got enhanced production, which is good for producing what we need. Over here at Zio's bulk terminal, we have just food supplied, which is not great. It's not great, but it's gung-ho anyway with the amount of food that's been supplied. So it's good enough. Like for the bulk terminal, you don't need multiple different things being brought in. You just need enough stuff being brought in. So we're supplying enough food. We're gung-ho. Over here at the oxygen furnace, we are supplying two things coming in again. So production's quite good there. However, over here at the electric arc furnace, we need to get a boost for supplying all of these different types of things. So we're already supplying the ferrochrome, which hasn't arrived yet. That's why it's not labelled. But we also need to get scrap metal, quicklime, or oxygen. Now it does say for maximum production rate, supply all of the required cargoes at least once every 3 months. I don't know if there's some sort of multiplier that helps with that, but I have a feeling that if we just shove a load of scrap metal into this, we will be alright, because I'm pretty sure scrap metal's a good one to do. And in fact, we've got our first train coming through here now, delivering the what is it? Delivering the ferrochrome, and it's going through the force depot before it goes into the station. That force depot just ensures that not only does it get a service, but it doesn't decide that it needs a service as it's going through the station, skip the station to go to a depot and then get lost or just cause traffic jams and all that sort of stuff. So there we go. We've got that. I wonder how much it's going to make. Let's have a look. We brought it a relatively long distance. It was a good journey, and 205 thou. That's quite good. So scrap metal. Let's have a look at the in-game industry chains. And this works for the vanilla game and for modded games. And we're going to have a look at the cargo for scrap metal. You can see scrap metal only goes to an electric arc furnace and only comes from a scrapyard. So we can go to our world map and we can turn off the town names and select industries. And you can, well, you might be able to see that we are over here at this orange industry, roughly right in the middle of the screen there. So I'm going to disable all the industries and I'm going to turn on scrapyard and scrapyards only. Okay. There's a few scrapyards around the map. Let's see what the situation is with some of the nearby scrapyards. This one's by far the closest. And its production is not great. Production is proportional to town population. Okay. So what we need to do is find a scrapyard that's close by near to a large town. So what is the production of that one? And which town is it tied to? Burningbury. I think this is Burningbury down here, which is a relatively large town. 234 tons of scrap metal. That's not a massive amount. Let's have a look at a different town. Oh, here we go. This is what we're looking for. So, Pruntbourne Bridge is an 11,000 town. It's been sprawling out and growing ever since we brought our railway through to it. Hi, Duplicator. Watching on YouTube, welcome to the stream. And they have a scrapyard, and it's producing 2,043 tons because it's next to a massive town. Now, I just want to check that there's no other ones next to massive towns nearby. So we've got this one over here. That's next to a relatively small town. Actually, isn't it capped? Isn't there a maximum it can do? And no more than 2,048 units will be produced. You know what? I think we can live without 5 units of scrap metal. Let's put our station in here. So we need to get our scrap metal out of here. So let's just... we might be able to build something here without getting rid of that river. Just put it into this space. So let's do this as a... scrap metal. Let's use a good station low. We'll do a 4-track 10 length. Let's have a look. Yep, that says it supplies scrap metal. If we get it in the right orientation, that will also be good. Tracks going in can go in like this. You know what? That fits in quite well. We're just going to take a tiny bit of the hillside out there to get our forced double depot in before the track. And then on the exit, try that again, on the exit, we want signals on the end of the platforms, otherwise it treats the entire station as one block. Bring them together. And then on the exit we'll have an optional double depot. I said optional. We don't want the forbidden track. There we go. Right, let's tidy this up and then have a look at the other end and see if we can get it all connected together. So that's okay, that's good. We've got to get... Oh. Yeah. Oh, okay, so it's up here. Oh, the SH40 is available. No, go away. Right, we're going to change this slightly. We're going to change this slightly. So we're going to just touch the hill back there and go this way. I was under the impression that we was in a slightly different location from what I thought we were in. So we're going to do a direct turn around here. Is there a way to see the distances between towns? Not really, no. Not that I know of. There could be, but I don't think there is. The way that I would do it, if I wanted to measure the distance between these two towns, it's Manhattan distance, so it is along and then across. So what I would do is I just get the track tool, put it in the middle of one badge, go roughly straight across. You can see that says 60. Hold shift and it and then go this, and it'll tell you how much it costs. I mean, it won't because we're in demolish mode. And then go the other way, you can see its length 40, 41. So the Manhattan distance between those two towns is 100. So you can work it out just by looking at the length on the track tool. But not really. Okay, so that's going to be the exit coming out of here. There we go. What's that mod to get rid of the grid lines? What grid lines? Is there a mod? I think there's a graphics pack to do it. And I think I use it in my Series 6 Let's Play, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Not off the top of my head. Okay, 4 length. No, 4 width. I've done it wrong way around again. There we go. We all make mistakes. It's just a matter of learning from your mistakes and taking actions to mitigate mistakes that matter. There you go. My wise words of the day. All of the words may not be wise, including the wise words. Right, let's get rid of those 2 bits. Let's get rid of that rogue depot. Get rid of the forbidden track there. You can learn from your mistakes and not keep making them? Yeah, apparently, Brandon, that's like a thing. Sometimes it's a bit of a... Why is that showing up as a tunnel to go all the way through? Oh, is that an extra land height down from what I thought it was? Ooh, okay. In which case, let's do... like, move... Okay, hang on a second. There we go. So we need to go up 1 here. Then we can tunnel through. Then we can push to here. Tunnel through that bit as well. There we go, that's alright. Question is, how are we then going to get this to there? I think we're just going to have to do a big diagonal, like from there. Do 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 do. I think I like this song a lot. It's growing on me. Can we change the music? Game options. Can you change it mid-game? Music set. Let's go for the winter holiday music pack. I think it's broken. No, it isn't. I'm not using that music pack anyway because unlike the other music in OpenTTD, it's not actually royalty free or whatever the jargon is. It's not open source. So I did a charity stream once where I used... It was a Christmas charity stream. I used the Christmas OpenTTD music from the download and... there was a claim against the stream, and I was like, that's a little bit of a shame for such a popular event and such a long one. But you know, it's my fault for adding something into the game that I didn't check. Didn't check. You know, if you're using other people's stuff, you should check that sort of things. Yeah, I do need to have a look to find out which music packs I can use on my live streams. There we go. So now this is really going to bump up production, this is. So engines only, SH30. Then we are moving... What are we moving? Scrap metal, isn't it? Scrap metal. There we go. Yeah, I have used ZBase a lot in the past. I like ZBase. I also like this. I think it depends on my mood. Full load there, and then go over here. So we'll clone that, and we'll give it quite a few of them because it's creating 2,000 tons of the stuff, and send it on its way. So in theory, from the ferrochrome and the ridiculous amount of scrap metal we're about to be getting, we should then start producing quite a lot of the other things. Have we actually made any... Oh! We have been making vehicle parts. So the first few trains have already made their journey. One's dropping off there now. Let's find the next one. Here's the next one. It's on its way. Let's work out how much we think this one's going to make. So we are picking up vehicle parts from this component factory. We're going down this line, and it's a long line. It is, I mean, the Manhattan distance is approximately 600. Okay, and we're doing the vehicle parts. If we look at the cargo payment rates for passengers mail and vehicle parts, you can see vehicle parts is right slap bang between the two there, but does better overall than mail over time. How much do we think this train's going to make? How much money? I don't think this train's made a journey yet. It's getting relatively close. There we go. So it's around 600 in distance that it's going. Oh, it has already made a profit this year. Well, that spoilt it a little bit, hasn't it? That's not income, though. That was the profit. Oh, that's a shame. We missed out on that. $1.7 million. Well, we don't do it in dollars. We always do it in the currency I'm playing in, which is pounds for this series. I think all of my series have been in pounds. If I ever did a map and it was like a Europe map, I would play in euros. And if it was an American map, then yeah. Oh, pounds. Okay. No. It's around 280k, something like that. You can see from the profit this year, it's going down a little bit. Thanks for the train. Someone silence. That's a good train. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Alright, let's just speed it up. Let's put ourselves out of our misery. Here we go. Go away. There we go. And the survey says 305. So there we go. We knew it was over 200. You've obviously got to pay for the return journey and all that sort of stuff. So that's going to be some good money coming in. And we're going to have even more of them coming soon. Looks like we've got quite a few. So let's... I mean, it's taken a while for the trains to do that journey. So we will clone those trains. We're getting quite a few deliveries coming in here. And we can see it's saying that all are supplied apart from the stainless steel. I think, is the stainless steel coming from here? Yeah, it is. But the scrap metal's coming in now, look. The scrap metal will be coming in thick and fast now. Egg says, I was way off. You was way off. Yeah, 81,000 for the scrap metal drop off there, but it's not a massive amount. How much scrap metal have we got waiting? Relatively large amounts. The trains are struggling to cope with it already. Let's put another train in there. I'll see how it goes. We may have to improve the flow of this station just because we are producing so much scrap metal. I mean, it's 92 tons transported Have we got a statue of the company owner in this town? Yes, we have already. Okay, that's fine. Wonder what our ratings are. Let's have a look for our ratings. Outstanding, 92%. Nice. Yeah, look at this. The trains can't cope. Let's expand the station with some nice cratey goodness. So, fixtures. Is there any fixtures that would be appropriate here? Raw materials. I suppose it's the containers, isn't it? What's these? Fruit? No. Not fruit. Processed products? General cargo crates. There we are, look. We got some general cargo crates. We've got some... Oh, that's got track on it. I don't want track. I want no track. Yeah, we're just some containers. Let's have some more cargo crates at the end there. Oh my goodness. It's stacking up and changing quite a lot. We could do with some facilities maybe though. Put some of these buildings down the end here just for fun. There we go. Bit of a warehouse building in the corner there. I like it. Very nice. Should we change some of these station tiles actually? So we'll have a freight building with overpass going like across the middle. There's a train in the way. I don't think the train would be there for that long. I suppose we could just do like a normal overpass there. Oh, the SH40 is now out, good and proper. There's now an opportunity for me to put that in, so there we go. This train at the back here is taking forever, but don't worry. Maybe we can just speed it up for a moment. There we go. And then we'll put a little row in like that. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And then we could also put one of these in. Oh, look at that. Now that is cool. I like that. The way it all connects together. The platforms aren't perfect. But overall it's nice. It's cool to see the stock coming in and then getting onto the trains and shipping back out again. Nice. Very good indeed, that. Right then, folks. That is actually everything we needed to get done for today. And you can see the depots actually doing their magic here. Forcing the trains to go for their service as they come in and out. So today, that is Vehicle Parts Part 2 done. For the rest of the live stream, I will take requests of things to do to the network. Either, you know, expansion or correction or improvement or experiment. Anything that you think might be good to do. Tonight we're going to be stopping at 10 o'clock London time, so we'll check that out at some point. Monorail. Monorail isn't even out yet, Brandon. You and your monorail. We have got some aeroplanes flying around, although I can't remember exactly where. There's an airport here. It's not unlocked. I think Brandon was just having us on. There's a lot of mail at this airport. I don't know what aircraft are actually flying. Only 2. I think the rest have crashed. Put a helicopter in. We could put a helicopter in. I don't even know where our HQ is. Let's have a look. Oh, we haven't got a HQ in. Okay, folks, we've got to put our HQ somewhere. Where shall I put the HQ? Eh? Somebody's going to suggest boats. I don't think we've got any boats. Have we got any boats? We've got boats. What are we doing with boats? Oh, yes, that's right. We've got Beantown's Loop in this this network over here. We haven't come over this way for ages yet. A second, folks. Just one moment. There we go. Thank you very much for your patience there, folks. I just had to get in touch with somebody who had something important, that's all. Right then. Yeah. HQ in the middle of the lake where the boats pass. I mean, the boats don't really pass that often. There's not that many boats, I don't think. Where are the boats? They're all sitting around here. Have they got full load orders? Oh, we're not going to wait for full load anymore. Just go. Go. Oh, look, they're all breaking down. Oh, boats are steaming. And I think, right, you know aircraft can break down and they get the smoke coming out of the back of them. But aircraft can also crash as like a disaster event. I think ships should be able to sink as a disaster event. Trains can crash. Road vehicles can get run over. Aircraft can crash. Boats, they're invulnerable. The delicate metal things that are floating on water are apparently invulnerable. It just feels like there's a gap. Like all the 4 different types of transportation in the base game have a way to break down, and all 4 of them have a way that the vehicle can get destroyed, either by crashing or into another vehicle, or by crashing on an on landing or takeoff. Why can't boats? Why can't boats sink? Yeah, boats can go through each other for some reason. Yeah, I think if boats couldn't go through each other, it would be really bad egg, because for a start, the pathfinding across the water is difficult enough without having to then add in logic for the boats to work out to get around the other boats. Maybe if it was written again from scratch, the developers could do a good job at that. I mean, modern games can do it. I'm sure they could do it, but the way that the game is made, it's a very old game. It's got a lot of legacy things in here. I think that would probably be difficult for them to fix. Boats are the built-in disaster. Very funny. I like that. I like that. That's a good one. Icebergs. I mean, you could do icebergs, but like the boat would have to go off course. You think the UFO can destroy them? See, a UFO doesn't actually do the exploding. When a UFO lands, it just lands there, and then like the government jet or whatever it is comes along and blows up the UFO, and that blows up stuff around it. Although, having said that, Brandon, it was Brandon, wasn't it? The explosion from a UFO being blown up will explode track, but it will not explode the trains. So I do not think it will destroy the boats. And I don't think UFOs ever land on water. The UFO would have to be next to the water, and then the ship next to it, and then the bomb to come in. Okay, we've got some suggestions about the HQ. So let me see. Build a big mountain and put the HQ on top. Yeah. Big mountain usually is put it in the smallest town. I think the HQ actually can give you a boost to stuff. Oh, there's a separate UFO event for flying around and blowing up road vehicles. Okay, I did not know that. I've not seen that happen before. Put it in the smallest... I'm not going to put it in the smallest town. It gives you a boost to your ratings. Hang on, folks. Surely it should be at the assembly plant. In this game, where we're supplying... Oh, there you go. We're going to have a boost to our vehicle production there. Oh, apparently we're only transporting 54% of our vehicles. Oh no, everything's backing up. Throw more trains at it. How are we doing on engineering supplies? Oh, engineering supplies are actually backing up as well. We also need to save space around this airport for expanding it. I mean, there's no towns around here for it to mess up the expansion, but it is conceivable that a new industry could pop up and actually cause problems with the airport expansion later. So there we go. Yeah, there's UFOs in the game if you have disasters turned on. So that's something as well. People don't always have disasters turned on. Let's just neaten up this lake. Now we've got the money to do it. So we're going to create a mini lake here. Like that. Mini lake. And then for this bit, we're going to connect it up. In fact, we're going to connect all of that up. We're not interested in our finances. We're going to get rid of that bit of the lake as well. Yeah, we'll get rid of this bit of the lake too. Yeah, we don't need that lake. Bye-bye, lake. There we go. Most of that lake is gone. The large UFO can destroy trains? Wow. I just spent about 300 million terraforming that, getting rid of that lake. But we've got plenty of trains coming through here now, shifting the road vehicles. Hopefully our ratings should be starting to go up. It's like 55%. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. You know what? We should have a second airport. We should have a second airport. Can we have bigger airports yet? No. Okay. We should have a second airport for like another lot of engineering supplies, because we're not going to be able to shift it all with just one airport. There are too many engineering supplies. I don't want a sign. I want to purchase land. I can't remember how big the upgraded airports are, but I don't want to have a problem where there's an industry in the way, so I'm playing it on the safe side. There we go. Let's put in that HQ. I was going to put it on a hill, but I like the idea of it being on a hill. But I like the idea of it being outside the assembly plant just that little bit more. Sorry. Right in between everything. Isn't that fantastic? I think it is. There we go. No, I'm not interested in goods truck. Now, are we using aeroplanes to do two different locations? We are, aren't we? So we've got aeroplanes coming down here supplying this network. And then we've got aeroplanes going up here supplying this network at Tomato Drop-Off. So what I'm thinking is that we switch over one set of aeroplanes. So these aeroplanes, where they're full loading here at the airport, we'll get them to go to Gingway Holt and full load there instead. Hopefully that will allow for better flow of aircraft. Look at all these. Oh my goodness, look how many aircraft we've got stuck in the hangar. This is the problem with airports. They're just not fantastic enough. A few minutes ago, someone was doubting to put depots in the water. Now there are 2 lakes completely gone. Yep. Bye-bye money, bye-bye lakes. We have taken over this area. This is hellish land. The assembly plant edition. Oh dear, look at this. I'm liking this. Also, these depots here are optional depots. I want to make them forced depots. So there we go. Forced depots. They're all forced depots here. These depots are a nice way of doing it. Are you delivering cars? Yes, so this is the car delivery. This is vehicles out. This one is. So, Gimway South. Vehicles out. Okay, so that's where the vehicles are going out. The 2 airports are where engineering supplies are going out. Infinite power. What else gets produced here? I forgot. Farm supplies. We don't really need farm supplies. The only farms we've got in the entire network are over here somewhere. Oh yeah, they're supplying this bulk terminal with food. Here, and there's one more there. Right, and between those 3 farms, they're keeping this thing gung-ho. So we don't need any more farm supplies than what we already have. The only reason we have food is to gung-ho the terminal. That's it. We don't need any more. Wow. There is a bit of plastic stacking up there, though, at that station. We'll have to keep an eye on things like that. How is this oxygen furnace doing? Not too bad, actually. Not too bad at all. That's stepping things up. Tyre production over at Jimster Gaming. Let's have a look. Well, we're certainly doing alright on this. The rating's at 82% and we're currently producing 815 tons of tyres. What's the bottleneck? So we've got 815 tons of tyres. We've got 475 tons of vehicle bodies. We've got 475 tons of vehicle parts. And 710 tons of vehicle engines. So that's all going very well. What graphic set is this? This is, I don't think it's full vanilla. Let's just double check. Okay, so in terms of GRFs, there's no graphics in here. There's the FIRS Industry Replacement set, and there's the Industrial Stations Renewal. Obviously, each of those comes with its own graphics. So FIRS is the industries, and they come with their own graphics. The Industry Stations Renewal mod is what makes these industry stations. It's not replacing the game's existing graphics, it's adding to it with more advanced stations. So over here we've still got some of the old stations in. The old-fashioned stations. But if we go into game options, yep, I'm playing the base open graphics. I'm not playing Z-base or A-base or night graphics. I would like to see this game in night graphics though. I might save it and see if we can have a look. This is going to be... No, we won't mess around. It is also Steel Town, yeah. Steel Town FIRS, not just normal FIRS. Okay. Well then, folks, let's have a look. Things are generally going around pretty good. We've got a few bits and bobs, double depots. Night graphics is nice. I love the look. You know what? I'm going to show you night graphics. Let's save the game. This is going to be episode live stream 7. I use the episode tag even though it's a live stream. Live stream 17. Then if we abandon game and then we go game options and change to the night set, I think we can then go back into the game and it'll be night. Pretty sure this will work. Yeah, there you go, look. So it's now night time. Now, the I'm not sure if Furs is just not compatible with nighttime or whether they've got floodlights on their industries or something, but they seem to shine a little bit better than anything else. The industry stations renewal also doesn't have compatibility. Okay, so they bring out their own shininess, so it just doesn't look great. But especially for vanilla OpenTTD, things like let's find some good cities. Big cities. Where are my big cities? Big cities are here. Like the cities in the nighttime, to me, look really nice. Yeah, Furs and ISR do not support it at all, the night graphics. But I love the trains as well. Look, you can see the passenger lights going down there on the trains. The signal lights on the line, they're light as well. It is cool. And I do enjoy what it looks like. What I don't enjoy is trying to build in the dark. So, yeah, the mods we're using, and we've only got 2 of them, don't support nighttime graphics. And building with nighttime graphics is a bit of a nightmare. So let's abandon that and go back to what we were doing with the standard. I mean, should we have a look, see what it's like at Z-Base? I haven't done this in a while. Wow. Okay, so the good thing about Z-Base is that you get a high amount of detail on the textures. So look at those trees. Those trees have got so much more detail, so much more pixels. I really like that aspect of it. The track has got a lot more detail to it. Everything has. And that's on the closest zoom level. Like normally at the closest zoom level, the game is very, very blocky. The downside to it is that the texturing is a bit not great. The trees kill the bit rate. The preview doesn't look too bad, but yeah, a lot of people don't like Z-Base because the texture in it is very flat and very saturated. It's almost Toy Town like, and I don't know if Industry Stations Renewal. No, they're not. So Furs and Industry Stations Renewal are also not compatible with it. You can see the difference between the two actually here. Look at the corners of all these buildings for the Furs Industries and the kind of platform texture there, the blocky platform texture of the old set. And then look at the high detailed grass texture there. The hangar actually has a beautiful curve on it in Z-Base. The level of detail is fantastic. The top panels, you don't like these top panels in Z-Base? I mean, for me, they're alright. I don't mind them. Some people just don't like the flat, highly saturated look of Z-Base. I love the fact that it's a greater detail level. But people are very much... Oh, hang on. Yeah, I mean, look at these... These depots here actually have some texturing to them. And I think they look much better than some of the flatter the flatter sort of textures, especially on the vehicles and the wagons here. Like the top of that wagon is just like one solid block of colour. Like the runway's got texture to it, and some of the building parts have, but the trains are just very flat. So I'm going to let chat decide whether we stay in Z base or not for the end of the live stream. The trains hurt my eyes. Yeah, I love the fact that there's a texture pack in this game which allows this level of detail in this game, and you can bring up the level. I mean, look at all those townhouses and stuff, and the football stadium. These buildings look so much better. I think it's the vehicles that let it down. Oh look, the town built a silly little bridge there. I think it's the vehicles that let it down more than anything else. What's going down here? Is this train broken down? Yeah, it's broken down. Zooming out on the stream doesn't like it. No. It will not like it, especially if I scroll around like this. I'm sure the stream will just become a blocky mess. That is the natural problem with the way that the encoding works for streams, and the fact that you've got the trees and the stuff in the way that it is in OpenTTD. It's unfortunate, but never mind. So yes, should we just have a quick look at the station list, see how things are going? So what we're going to do is we're going to only look at trains, and we're going to turn off passengers and mail. Then we're going to sort by total weight in cargo, and vehicles out is absolutely chock-a-block again, completely full. Let's throw some more trains at it. How many trains? Look, we've got over 1,500 tons of vehicles out there. We've got so many vehicle parts waiting to be brought out here. It's ridiculous. No problems with scrolling. Okay. Then again, right, watching on Twitch and watching on YouTube might be two different things because of the way the video is passed through and compressed. What else am I doing? I can't remember what it was. I was going to look at something. Oh yeah. Right, so this is the vehicle's outline. There's a lot more trains on that now. And this station at this end was probably never really designed for that amount of throughput. Yeah, look, we've got a queue of trains now. We're going to have to expand this station. I'm not really sure how we're going to do it. Okay, so what's this double depot here? Is it a forced double depot? No, it's an optional double depot. Let's make it a forced one. And we'll just analyse what's going on here and try and work out where the backlog is. So in theory, a train should come up here, go into the depot. More trains. Yeah, you can't just keep throwing trains at a network though, because eventually you will have the problem of going, my stations can't handle it, or my depot design can't handle it, or I haven't got enough signals on the track. So this is working okay at the minute. We've got a train going into a different part there. It might be these tunnels putting a little bit of a slowdown on it. Cars can go to the vehicle supplier? What? YouTube has quality options, Twitch doesn't. It's the upside of YouTube. Yeah, that's the thing. Most, like, if you list all the benefits of Twitch compared to YouTube, there's a lot of them. But there are some benefits of YouTube over Twitch. And it'd be nice if we could have benefits both ways. There's a building called Vehicle Supply. Cars can go there instead of towns. Yes. We wanted to feed these towns with vehicles. But looking here, I think it's actually these tunnels that are causing the problem. So we're going to get rid of them. Because I think trains are having to stop and wait and accelerate. Oh, it's the antennas. What do we do? 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 I think that's actually better. I think having... Oops. I think having rubbish hills is actually better than the tunnels in this particular situation. Because that's going 100 kilometers an hour and it slows down a tiny bit when it goes up that hill. And we can cut out some of the up and downiness in the middle. So that didn't work. Not quite as well as expected anyway. I don't think I cut enough out. Let's try it again. So let's get rid of that. We don't want the extra viewport. That was a mistake. There we go. Let's get these trains out of the way. Right, let's see here. What if we did something like that? Can we get rid of that bit? We can't get rid of that bit. So can we keep it at that level all the way down? So at least they climb up and then they climb down. Because if that's the case, then we can, like, incrementally do that. Although they don't seem to have too much of a problem. I was going to say going up that incline. The problem is they... Oh. Cannot reach vehicles out. Yes, you can. Was it just because I cut off the... Yeah, it was because I cut things off. Yeah, the hills are a bit uneven and the TV antennas are terrible. Should we just kink round them? Should we just come out here and then go around this antenna? To try and keep the land height as level as possible. Would that be better? I think it would be better, wouldn't it? So if we go from here, out, how close to that antenna can we go? Here. Like that. Which way do we think, folks? Up and over or round? Obviously round creates a slightly longer journey, which is not good. Like, you don't want longer journeys. If you can avoid it. Round. Kink might be preferable. I mean, it's not just a kink. Not quite sure what's happening here with the tracks, but I'll fix it, I'm sure. Is it going down too? Okay, so there is actually a land height change there. Alright, I'm going to let that train through and then change it from here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that because that train's coming through. Alright, block those trains. Go on out the way, everybody. I'm doing some major rework. Sometimes longer routes can be more profitable. Yeah, but the length of a route is worked out by the Manhattan distance of the route. So if you're going the long way round between two different places, that's not good. Because you're going longer but not getting paid for going longer. There we go. Fixed. I can't remember what... I think Manhattan distance is an American term. I can't remember what the UK or European version. Crow distance, says Brandon. No, crow distance is the direct distance between 2 points. The shortest straight line between 2 points. It doesn't take into... So, like, crow distance between, like, these two cities would be something like that. It'd be that white line. It'd be straight through. Manhattan distance follows the grid. So, it'd be out 31 and then across 43. So, if you think of triangles, Manhattan distance is the length of the two sides, x plus y, where, as the crow flies, would be the hypotenuse distance. Don't ask me to calculate it. This is much better. So hopefully we should get a better flow rate coming through there now. Okay, folks. Well, that is pretty much it for today's live stream. We've been doing this for a couple of hours. We've got absolutely everything now coming into our assembly plant, and everything that supplies those things have everything going into them, and then everything that supplies those things has at least a couple of things going into them. So we've pretty much maxed out most of that. What we're going to have now, I'm going to pause the game, and what we're going to have is one more live stream where I'm going to spend the entire live stream looking at what's happening, where things can be improved, showing you my thought processes about those different parts, and we're going to make this network better. I'm going to have one live stream doing that. And we're going to see how many vehicle parts I can get the network to produce in that time. After that live stream, next week, next Monday, we will pause Series 9. And I'm going to make my game save, as well as the world save, in case you want it, available on my website. And the idea is that you download this game save and you continue playing from this point here. So we're currently in 1976 and you carry on playing, and you've got until the year 2000 to make improvements to this. So doing some rough calculations, let's get the calculator up on my screen. We've got the year 2000 minus 1976. That gives you 24 years. Roughly, a game year is, I believe, 13 minutes. And if you divide that by 60 minutes in an hour, that gives you 5.2 hours. Okay. So 5.2 hours you have to be able to do this, to improve my network from what it is here to what it can be. And that's it. That's what we're going to be doing. But I will remind you all about that next live stream, because next live stream will be the last one before we pause. After a certain amount of time, and I haven't decided exactly how much time yet, I will take everybody's year 2000 saves for the Series 9 and we will come back. We'll see how well that each person has done. We'll look at all the different saves. We'll talk about the different ways that people have done things. We'll look at the ways that they've done better than me. We'll look at the ways they think maybe they could have improved on stuff. Kind of like the reviews that we do on the others, but we're going to do them live all together, which I think is going to be great fun. So there we go, folks. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Leave all your thoughts, ideas and questions down in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody.